Hello and welcome to another video of mine. Now in this video we're going to be doing some comparisons between the Xbox Series S and the PS4 Pro. Now in case you're wondering, I've already put out a very lengthy video comparing the two consoles. So why on earth am I still making a comparison video? Well, there's been one change since I put the last video, and that change has been that I added an SSD to my PlayStation 4 Pro. So with the addition of the SSD, I'm going to be making a comparison as to how it's positively impacted my PlayStation 4 Pro, and can it actually compete with your current gen consoles like the Xbox Series S, because the Xbox Series S from my previous videos, as you would have seen it, is excellent in terms of load times. Load times, in fact, question mark, what exactly are load times? That's how good Xbox Series S, that tiny little beast, really is in terms of the load times. So we're going to check out how the PlayStation 4 Pro with an SSD compares to the Xbox Series S, and does it actually beat the Xbox Series S or not? So we're going to find all that out in this video, so stay tuned till the end of the video, and I guess we'll all get to find out together. Let's get started, folks. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to play The Witcher. Now I just want to mention that this game currently sits on my internal storage on the PlayStation 4 Pro, so I've still not moved this to the external storage, which is the brand new SSD. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly load this game. Now I know I could have just simply made a comparison screen, but I also want to comment and let you know what my thoughts are on this whole experience. So I'm just going to click on that continue. Let's hit that. Let's start the timer here. And of course, there is going to be a loading kind of a screen which comes up. So I'm quickly just going to reduce the volume. There's already a lot of background noise here. We have local festivities here, due to which there's a lot of background noise. I'll try to cut it out as much as I can in the post, but in case I can't, then I apologize for the background sound. So that's the loading screen, and let's see how long it takes. It's taking quite some time actually. We are already in the 56 seconds mark. So on my PlayStation 4 and on my Xbox, I'm at two different points when it comes to the game. But I just want to show that while it is still on the internal storage, how long it exactly takes to actually get into the game. So alright, it took almost 1 minute and 15 seconds. That's how long it actually took for me to get into the game. As you can see, that's 1 minute 16 seconds. I'm just gonna quickly take a screenshot of it as well. I am gonna store this information. Now let's actually move this game now over to the external storage, which is an SSD, and see how it actually impacts the load time. Okay, so while my game is getting transferred on my PlayStation 4 Pro from my internal storage over to the external storage, The Witcher 3 that is, I'm gonna move over to the Xbox Series S, and I'm gonna show you how long it exactly takes for the game to load up. So I have again got my timer. I'm gonna reset it. Here it is, and I'm gonna hit on that continue button, and bam. Alright, now I know this is a cutscene, so technically it's not exactly a load screen, but it should give you an idea as to how long, because in this particular game, the load screen actually comes in between. So I thought, alright, let's just put the timer on, comment on it, and you guys will get an idea there. You see, the load screen, what? Stop. In fact, it must have taken what, 22 seconds? That's how long it took. As you can see, load times, whoa, it's not 24 seconds. I forgot to hit that stop. It's somewhere around 22 seconds mark. So wow, this is incredible. As you could see, it hardly took any time for the Xbox Series S to actually get into the gameplay. Now this is the game. I know that there are two different points in the game that may have some impact. So even if you give or take an additional 5 seconds, that's 22 seconds plus 5, that's like 27 seconds. Given that PlayStation 4 Pro has the game set at a different level and at a different stage, but hey, that is super fast. That's why I love my Xbox Series S when it comes to the load times. it is phenomenal. It is absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to the load times. This tiny beast, man, it does such a great job. Alrighty, now I have moved the game over to the external storage. So now when I click on that continue button, you should get an idea as to how it makes a difference when it comes to the load times on this particular game, The Witcher. So I've got my hands on the button and the clock. So here we go, and boom, continue. Alright, so now we'll get to know as to how it makes a difference. The clock is running on the side, and still don't have the loading screen. Alright, and loading screen now. It should give you an idea, as to how it impacts the game overall, because previously the same point, I was at the same point, the same level on the internal storage, and we've got the loading screen. I think it was around 1 minute and 13 or 1 minute and 15 seconds. So we are very close to that mark again. So we'll get to find out, and bam. Alright, so 1 minute this time around. Alright, now I'm just going to quickly take a screenshot of this. Now while it was stored on the internal storage, it took around 1 minute and 16 seconds for it to load up. It took only 24 seconds on the Xbox Series S. Of course, the level was different, so the cutscene or that little bit of an explanation that came in between was different. But still, 24 seconds, man. And with the external storage, which is an SSD, we saw an improvement of almost around 15 seconds. So that's not bad. I mean, any improvement is good enough, but you see the difference. 1 minute here and 24 seconds here. Alright folks, so Titanfall 2. Now this is stored on the internal storage, which is a hard disk drive of the PlayStation 4 Pro. So I am going to click on that continue. I've got my clock ready to go. Here we are, and bam. Alright, so I hit it at the right time. Now while it is stored on the internal storage, it should give us an idea as to how long it actually takes. So yeah. Now Titanfall 2, by the way, it runs fabulously on your PlayStation 4 Pro. I've made another video where I've actually compared Titanfall on you could say both the consoles, the Series S and the X. It definitely looks better on the PlayStation 4 Pro. So alright, so it took approximately 30 seconds while it's stored on the the internal storage. Alright, so I am gonna just quickly take a screenshot of this. Alright, that's 30 seconds. Alright, so now we're gonna head over to the Xbox Series S, and in the meanwhile, I'm gonna transfer this game from my internal storage over to the external storage. So we're gonna do that as well. Alright, I am on my Xbox Series S, and well, this is stored on my external storage, even on my Xbox Series S. But I'm just going to quickly show you how long this is going to take, and I'm just going to reset, and I'm going to hit on that continue button and also start my timer. Alright, here we go. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Remember, it took around 30 seconds on the PlayStation 4 Pro when it was stored on the internal storage. Oops, alright. So it took half the time. It took around 15 seconds, I would say. And that is phenomenal, Again, that's why I love my Xbox Series S, because one should not wait that long to play or to get into the heat of the action or the gameplay. So with the PlayStation 4 Pro, Titanfall 2, I'm gonna take a screenshot here. It took about 15 seconds on the Xbox Series S, and on the PlayStation 4 Pro, while it was stored on the internal storage, took about 30 seconds, 30.69, I would say 30 seconds. And now we're gonna finally find out how moving this particular game over to the external storage, which is an SSD on the PlayStation 4 Pro, is gonna impact the game. Alright, so I have finally moved Titanfall 2 over to the external storage. So I quickly wanted to just do a quick recap. It took 30 seconds, almost 31 seconds, while it was stored on the internal storage of my PlayStation 4 Pro. it took about 15 seconds for it to load up on my Xbox Series S, which is half the time. And now we're gonna check out how long it takes while the game has been moved over to the external storage, which is an SSD. So I'm gonna click on that continue, and I'm also gonna hit that timer, and let's see how it impacts the load times when the game gets transferred over to the external storage. All right, this is taking a while. Okay, so about 26 seconds. So there's been an improvement of roughly about 4 seconds. So again, a quick recap. All right, so it took about 26 seconds and 89, so about 27 seconds you could say, while the game was on the external storage, an SSD. Just 15 seconds on the Xbox Series S. Now that is phenomenal performance. And then 31 seconds, almost 31 seconds you could say, when Titanfall 2 was stored on the internal storage. So internal storage, PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox Series S, and then finally external storage on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Just a difference of around 4 seconds. In fact, yeah, 4 seconds. Well, every second counts or matters. So now let's move over to Assassin's Creed Odyssey and check that out. Now again, this game has been stored on my external storage, so it's stored on my SSD. So I'm gonna click on that continue button and also start my timer. So here we go, and it should give you an idea as to how long it actually takes. So here we have the load screen. Now let me tell you that it does take long when it's stored on the internal storage. I keep getting confused between the internal and the external. So I'm just gonna say SSD. So while it's stored on the SSD, it definitely makes a difference. I think even in my last video, when I was actually showing the load times of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you could actually see the difference. There was a massive difference. So let's see how long it takes. And all right, almost there, and you could say 44 seconds approximately. I did click on it a little quicker, but let's give it the benefit of the doubt, and let's say 45 seconds. All right, so although it's 44 here, take that as 45 seconds. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot, and this is your load time when you've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey stored on your SSD, not on the internal storage. All right, now we're gonna quickly hop on to Xbox Series S and check out the load time. So load time with the SSD on PlayStation 4 Pro, 44 seconds. Let's move over to Xbox Series S now. All right, Xbox Series S now. So let's take a look at this. Let's come over here, PlayStation 4 Pro again, 44 seconds. I'm gonna reset this. Oh, this is not the timer. So I'm gonna reset the timer. I'm gonna click on that continue and hit the timer here as well. And bam. All right. So let's take how long this actually takes. This is on the Series S, and it is stored on the internal storage of the Series S. So it should give you an idea as to how long it actually takes to load up Odyssey. Well, 19 seconds. Wow. That's half the time, isn't it? 19 seconds, as you can see. And how long did it take? With the PlayStation 4 Pro on an SSD, it took around 44 seconds. And here, it took about 19 seconds. Wow, that's half the time. We're also going to check out fast travel times, as to how long it actually takes to travel between two different points. So we're going to check that out as well, because that also has a loading time. So let's quickly check that out on both the Series S and on the PlayStation 4 Pro as well, with the SSD that is. All right, while we are on Xbox Series S, let's start with the Xbox Series S and let's go over to the map and take a look at how long it actually takes for you to fast travel from one point to the other. So we're in the map right now, so I'm going to move over from here to here, and I've got my hands on the clock, and let's take a look as to how long it actually takes. So fast travel and bam. So hit that button, and we're gonna check out how long it actually takes on the Xbox Series S, and wow, 10 seconds only 10 seconds. I'm gonna take that screenshot, and now we're gonna move over to your PlayStation 4 Pro, and we're gonna check out how long it actually takes to fast travel. Now, of course, the game is at 2 different points on my PlayStation 4 Pro and on my Xbox Series S. So there might be a slight, difference because of that. But hey, I mean, give or take maybe 4 or 5 seconds. But the average would be more or less, it would stay the same. So 10 minutes for the fast travel on the Xbox Series S. Now we're gonna head over to the PlayStation 4 Pro with an SSD. Let's go, folks. All right, so I'm now on my PlayStation 4 Pro with an SSD. I'm gonna hit on that fast travel, and I'm also gonna hit on that clock right now, and bam. All right, now let's quickly take a look as to how long it takes on the PlayStation 4 Pro on an SSD. And does it actually, or can it actually rather, compete with the Xbox Series S? Okay, 16 minutes and 79 seconds. Now that is not bad at all. Not bad at all, I would say. So I'm gonna go over to the photos and show you how long it actually took. All right, so it took around 10 minutes and 20 seconds with the Xbox Series S when I had to fast travel. And on the PlayStation 4 Pro with the SSD, it took about 17 seconds. And that is really good, I should say. Well, that's it for this video, folks. In case you feel that I've missed out on anything, then please hit me up in the comment section. And yeah, if you have any queries, any questions, then you can definitely get in touch with me via the comment section. And in case you like this video, well, I do make videos like this. And that's when you pick up your finger and hit on that like and subscribe button if you can, please. It would really mean a lot to me, and I would really appreciate it because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. It also helps my channel grow. And in case you want to hit that bell icon, then please go ahead and hit that bell icon as well, because every time I put out a new video of mine, you will get a notification saying that I have actually released a new video of mine. Now, with that said, we come to the end of this video. It's a wrap for this one. I'll see you guys again in the next video, folks. Until then, take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.